Huh, well that stopped. Wonder if we've run out of space. Oh, I guess we'll find out if it continues to stop. Either that or saying Jesus, or, oh Jesus. No, doesn't stop it. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go get stuff to clean this up. Found a bucket. Now I can't sing the Mr. Bucket song, because now saying that, I want to sing it. This is probably the worst part about most integrations, which is why a lot of people do them in an area that is easier to clean. I chose not to because I am stupid. But it's okay, stupidity leads to fun things. Like, for example, integrating a Fire-Ploy into a deploy. I wonder who's doing that. Oh, wait. There we go. So apparently double tapping it makes it an action thing. So I guess that's cool for stuff. Where do I feel a cat? Alright. Just random fur or something on my leg here, I don't know. One of the two. Hot glue and super glue and epoxy putty. These are the necessary bits for this part. First off, tack your shell together if it has stuff like the deploy where the grip is a completely separate piece because it's meant to fold. So I would tack that together just for simplicity's sake. Just try to center it to the best of your ability. If you can't grab the piece that makes it centered, no matter what, you can use super glue for the grip because I'm out of epoxy. Just Gorilla super glue gel. I'm using a knife to remove kind of the little hang-offs, and then I'm going through and sanding them. That's just how I do it. I would probably recommend just straight up sanding until they're nice and even. But due to lack of sandpaper and currently only having a sanding sponge at hand, I'm using a knife just for the ease of it. But now I'm having the issue of I need to cut more. So that's what I'm going to do. Just with some snippers. Drop that with a pump this time. There we go. I need more. Alright, that is all good now. So I can now actually tack this in place with some hot glue. For this bit I am using hot glue for the reason of it's just going to be easier. Okay, now this is actually able and ready to be epoxied. And you can see there's that little bit of a gap there. That's because of how I had to cut it. But that can once again just be filled with epoxy. Well, epoxy putty. So now that I got this half done, I'm going to start, well, getting it permanently put together with some epoxy putty. And hopefully it works out as good as I want it to, at least. It's gonna work anyway, but it's like, it's all a matter of how well. So we got some putty still good and stuff. So now, very simply, we go. We give ourselves a little cut of it, about yay big. I just smushed that back into a circle. You can smell the hardener in the center. And I just do that to store it for later. It's really more or less just how I do it. It's recommended to use gloves and stuff. It's not really needed. I found this stuff, this is fixed stick. I found it really doesn't agitate my hands and skin, so I generally don't use gloves, but it is horrible if you have a cut on your hands. So it's really a more or less a condition of how do your hands look? Do they have any cuts? You know, it's that thing. It's always good to do it on the inside and outside, and you can always remember to, you can sand it afterwards. So it doesn't matter if it's perfect at first, just get it as close to the form as you can. You want to try to work the putty into everything, so that way it's all good. it's nice and firm in there. You're going to notice it's starting to get harder about this point. That's because it is. It's actually starting to dry. Keep in mind, epoxy putty is decently heavy compared to Nerf plastic, so you really don't need too much of it. And once I'm done with all of this, I'm going to go through and make sure it's all nice and secured mechanically as well as, you know, just normal. So this is what it looks like right now. I bridged that little gap there with some putty. Here I've just surrounded it with putty. On the inside, you can see, put putty there to keep it like that. Putty, putty. You really want to use this. You have it, so use it. And that didn't use up too much of my stick, so I'm still good. I don't think I'm going to have enough to finish this today, but hey, it's okay. And it's already pretty stable, firm right now, so I should be good to keep going and do the other side. So I'm going to put that somewhere just to dry. Alright, got that all glued down. Now to trim this. This guy plays football, but I once won the whole Super Bowl by myself. This guy is a weightlifter. I am the unicorn wizard. I was having breakfast at the Midtown Diner. Bagels were delicious, but my coleslaw can be finer. Alright, so the grip is pretty good on there. Pretty stable. Not bad at all. So now we can actually put the trigger in on the right side. Put on the other side of the blaster and see how it feels. It needs some refining because, well, there's epoxy in the way of the trigger, but it can still be pulled and it actually doesn't feel too bad. I do like that. That is nice. Now I just need to get this smooth out, you know, to smooth out. But so far so good. And I don't think I'm going to have enough epoxy to finish this today. So yeah, that sucks. So I might just have to go to creative solutions of mechanical, well, yeah, actually, straight up just making sure it stays. So now we're going to start integrating this into the back of this. That is the wrong side. This is going to be by far the hardest part because it's going to require more precision. It's not like the grip, where it's something so small it's okay to have it off a slight bit. If this is off a slight bit, well, everything's going to be off that little bit, and it's going to be a little more awkward. Look at, like, old school integrations from people. You know, they are a little bit crooked. It's not something unusable, but it's awkward. In the... It's like, the politest way to say it is, it's awkward looking. It looks weird, man. It looks weird. So what I'm going to do is lay it down like this in attempts to help everything just kind of stay aligned. Okay, so that's a little bit of trimming I'm going to have to do on both sides. It's always okay to constantly be making corrections. That's how you make it good. I'm not going for perfect here, I'm just going for it works and it actually looks pretty nice. If I was going for perfect, I would be going insane by this point, because nothing about this is perfect. Okay, that's better. It's much better. So instead of hot gluing this, I'm just going to straight up start epoxying it. So that way, it's just a nice confirming, feel. And the best part is, you get one side nice and properly lined up, it's going to be much easier to line up the second side. It's just you're going to have to wait a little longer because you don't have the inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up the thumb hole and the rest of it first, which is going to take up a majority of what's left of my putty. Well, the whole part is going to be the putty intensive bit, but for the most part I should be good on putty for now. This should let me get at least this half of the stock done today. Because I can guarantee the fact that this is a 45-minute part of the video, that this is going to be a couple parts. Yeah, so I guess I'll actually discuss the reason for making this. I was bored. I've had this Fire-Ploy for a while, and I'm like, I'm probably just going to turn it into a stock. So that's what I'm doing now, turning it into a stock on my favorite blaster, well, favorite Springer. Because like, I don't really have a, all-around favorite. I just have, favorite Springer and favorite Flywheeler. Favorite Springers that deploy for childhood memories and such, and the Desolator's favorite Flywheeler just because it's comfy. I like it. It's nice. It's an SMG one, and it's actually nice and fitting of that role. So right now, I'm waiting for this putty to dry, or at least get to the point where it's drying quickly. So now I'm just holding this. Starting to look good. Romance. Alright, so now this epoxy is dry enough, so now we can actually put the shells together and use the shell itself as a guide for the second half. I need to trim that a little more. Okay. This half I do need to do a bit more cleanup, so I'll do that real quick. Will work now. Not quite, needs a little bit more. It's all about fine-tuning. That's why this stuff takes patience. And if you don't have any patience, start with a smaller integration. This is me jumping into something I really shouldn't be jumping into, but I'm doing anyway because screw logic. This is more or less a, screw any reason I shouldn't be doing this, I'm doing it. This is looking pretty good, actually. Like, imagine that one is done. This is shaping up to be comfy, too. Like, dang. I cannot argue with how nice that is. In all honesty, it is too nice for what this is. And I'm okay with that. Honestly, fully okay with that. This is going to definitely take up the last bit of epoxy. So, let's do this. I think I've mixed up way too much putty for this, but hey, it's too late now. Alright, so this is pretty much as I can do for now. I got both halves of this put together. I'm completely out of putty. So yeah, this is all I can do for now. But so far, it's ended up really nice. Like, I'm quite happy with this. So I'm going to figure out what else to do. I'm going to figure out how I want to get this all. I already know how I want to do the shroud. So I'm going to start getting that kind of lined up, and yeah. So for now, this has been one long recording session. That is faux show. So yeah, just grab an epoxy putty off my hand with something that's going to get completely covered up. But yeah, thank you for watching.